Good evening, and welcome to Marburn Academy's State of the School 2021. I'm Eldridge Carr, Marburn's head of school. Tonight, you'll hear from myself and others, such as Brian Hicks, the chair of Marburn's Board of Trustees, members of Marburn's dedicated faculty and staff, as well as a few of our beloved students and families. You'll hear celebrations, moments of thanks, themes from the present, and our aims for the future. In the end, our goal is to inform you, but it is also to reassure you that despite a year of tremendous ups and downs and challenges, Marburn is here for you. As you listen this evening, we encourage you to share your positive messages in the chat feature. Please express your excitement and gratitude for Marburn's community members, our program, and our future together. Thanks again for being with us, and know we miss seeing you in person. Now, Brian Hicks, the chair of Marburn's Board of Trustees.
Eldridge, good evening. Thank you very much, and welcome everybody. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I always think this State of the Schools address is a really important evening because it gives us an opportunity to really take stock of where we've been, where we're at, and maybe most important, where we're going. I'm now in my 13th year as service on the board, and I think I'm in my 5th or 6th year as board chair. And it has been a great honor to serve in this capacity. And sadly for me, this is my last year of service on the board. As part of our good governance strategy, we instituted term limits for board members, which I think is a really good idea because it keeps our board fresh, it brings in new ideas, and it really ensures that we have energetic and committed leadership for our families going forward. So while I've got several months to go before my term runs out, I can tell you this, that I am absolutely confident that we're going to pass the baton in the best way possible. Despite all the challenges of the past year, Marburn is really in a good position. It's growing, it's thriving, it's innovating, it's a real leader in the education field, and it's really doing great work for our students. And that's because we have an extraordinary team of teachers and staff and administrators. I will tell you what these folks have done to roll with the punches during this COVID pandemic has been nothing short of remarkable. We are blessed to have each and every one of them. And I know several of them are on the video with us tonight, and I want to thank you for your service to our family and our students. You know, I've been privileged to give back to Marburn because Marburn has given so much to be in my family. I've got a son who graduated from Marburn, and I will tell you is a thriving junior at the University of Cincinnati. But I am joined on the board by an unbelievably group of dedicated individuals. They give their time and their talent and their treasure to really ensure that Marburn is on and stays on the right track. And I know a lot of them are with us tonight, and I want to shout out to them and thank them for their great service to our wonderful school. I also want to take a minute, kind of a point of personal privilege, if you will, to recognize two of my colleagues who I think are also with us tonight, really two of my good friends, who are also going to be rolling off the board with me here in a couple of months. Rick Millenthal, Terry Sanders, and I all came on the board about the same time, 10 or 12 years ago, 13 years ago in my case. And while we've moved through the chairs and the various leadership positions, holding the gavel or chairing a committee has really not been kind of the most important thing that's been done. I will say this, it is not an understatement to say that without Rick Millenthal's leadership, we would not be in our beautiful school building in New Albany, Ohio. He was the driving force behind our capital campaign, and he really ensured that success was our only option. Generations of students who learn differently are going to be very well served because of Rick's dedication and passion for Marburn Academy. Terry Sanders has been our go-to source for calm, wise, and reasoned advice for over 10 years. He has been great on the board. He has tremendously strengthened our board operations and our governance structure, and he really worked hard to make sure that we had the right people on the board for the right time. And together with Rick, Terry did a masterful job in leading our head of school search just this last year. I have always valued his solid judgment, his considered counsel, and his great candor. And I can tell you that Marburn Academy is a far better place because of Rick and Terry's service to the board and I thank them for being great partners for so many, many years. On behalf of the whole board, I can also tell you that we have been absolutely thrilled to work with Eldridge Carr as our new head of school this year. You know, Eldridge didn't really sign up to take on a headship during a global pandemic, but I can tell you that he has done a great job. He's rolled up his sleeves, he's gotten to work, and he's really become a critical part of our community. In the 8 or so months that we've worked together, and I think the rest of the board would agree with me, that we are convinced that Eldridge is the right leader for Marburn to steer us onward and upward in the years to come. And I want to thank everybody on this call and this video for being so welcoming to Eldridge and Liz and his family and really embracing them in our community. This past year, the board's been partnering with Eldridge and his team as he assumes the new role, and in turn supporting the school during a really tough, stressful, and unpredictable time. And I can tell you, as a governance board, we've been particularly concerned with what our families are going through and what you're dealing with. And that's one of the reasons that we voted to freeze tuition for next school year, hoping that that offers a little bit of financial reprieve for our families going forward. Throughout this year, we have really seen what's made Marburn special. We've seen kind of an all hands on deck type of approach. We've seen servant leadership in its finest. We've witnessed compassion and understanding from our families. As I said, our faculty and staff have been innovative and adaptable. And I will tell you, our students and you, our families, have been nothing but resilient. So though we may be socially distanced right now, I actually think the COVID crisis may have brought us closer together. And I can tell you, it's made me very proud to be part of this special place that's doing great work. So on behalf of all of the Board of Trustees of Marburn Academy, I want to thank you for participating tonight. I want to thank you for your partnership this year. I want to thank you for allowing us to help educate your children. Tonight's presentation is not going to dwell on everything that we've missed in this past year, but really what we've gained together as a community and where we're going to go in the future. So with that, Mr. Carr, I will turn it back to you.
Thank you, Brian. Really appreciate the remarks. We really appreciate your leadership, your support, your consultation through some tough times, and your vote of confidence. Thank you again. I also want to thank Abby for letting me borrow her desk right now. As you can see, we've changed locations. Welcome to the heart of the Marburn experience, one of our classrooms within the school. This year, our classrooms may look a little different. Additional technology helps us reach students at home. Face masks and face shields dot the landscape. Stickers and signs remind us to stay socially distant and sanitize our hands. Without question, the coronavirus has had an impact on the schooling experience. With that being said, these classrooms are still full of, like they've always been, learning aids that support our students' executive functioning, student work, which we can point to with pride, and all of those intangibles that drive Marburn's culture of empathy, healing, understanding, and most importantly, academic growth. That culture doesn't just reside in one lower division classroom, though. It extends to every facet of the Marburn experience. It extends to when students work with our speech and language pathologist, when a child or family meets with one of our deans or one of our counselors, as we support our families through the IEP and ETR process. Even from the very first moment a prospective family steps onto campus to meet with our admissions team, to share their story and discover what so many of you already have, that this might just be the place that helps a child live a fuller life. I could go on and on. I could spew stats and stories about our successful college counseling program, our renowned Orton Gillingham approach, our free early reading screeners, but I'd rather you hear firsthand from some of Marburn's students, families, and faculty that live and make our culture each and every day. Enjoy the next few minutes, and I'll see you soon.
So I'll step over here so that you can take your mask off.
Okay. Students are pretty resilient, and that's been something that I think that I have seen a lot of this year, is that the masks don't hold them back, the shields don't hold them, well, maybe the shields hold them back a little bit because I make them go back to their desks to grab their shields, but those are just kind of steps that once we got those kind of routine, it feels normal. I mean, they're still just middle school students. They love to laugh and have fun and socialize. Socializing looks a little bit different these days, but it helps to do fun things in the classroom where they get to laugh together and bond over, you know, typical middle school stuff.
First year at Marburn, and one of the things that I love about Marburn Academy is that when I first walk in the room, I see everyone's smiling faces. Even though they have masks on, I can see it through their eyes.
The irony to being one of the staff members here at Marburn Academy is that we actually don't get to engage with students as much as one would think we would. And so even though this time period has been very unpredictable and we've had to make a lot of adjustments, what's been great and what's been one of the positive aspects of the last few months is that we've gotten a chance to engage with students in a new way, whether it's seeing them at lunch or seeing them during one of their class periods or even during pickup and drop off. You know, we've gotten to make some really valuable face time and get to know the most important members of the Marburn community.
We have been part of the Marburn family for, oh my goodness, 7 years now. And I say family because you all really have become part of our family. And I truly mean that. This year has been a little different, and for us, as I'm sure it has all of you. We live in a multi-generational household. My mom, Lily's Nana, is a breast cancer survivor and 72 and has some other ailments that have resulted in online school for Lily here at Marburn. And I'm going to let Lily speak on this because she does it so beautifully and flawlessly every day. I'm just so very proud of her.
Well, at the beginning of the year, it was a little difficult for me, but as the years progressed, I feel like the teachers and everyone's done like really good making me feel part of the group, and I just feel like it's just a typical Marburn day.
One of the things that impacts our students is that one-on-one attention that they can have with a small group. We can do it despite the mask, despite a mask and a shield. You can still get up close and have these personal connections. An example I have is a young man who is really working hard on improving his reading. And I think for a long time he felt all he needed to do was open up his head and information would go in. But this year he's finally starting to buy into the fact that he also has a responsibility for his own education. I was able to help this young boy work for a particular goal. He really loves to draw, and so he wanted to work for a pencil, and I had a really cool pencil. And that was it. He said, if I ask questions, if I stay engaged, if I'm on target, if I use my tools for reading, I can earn this pencil. And within a week, he was able to do that. He continues to earn points or check marks every day, but he doesn't need anything other than that acknowledgement of himself taking ownership of his education. Today I heard him read, and if you could see chills, you could see chills because he reads more words in a phrase than he has ever done before. He can hear himself drop his voice at the end of a period. He walks out every day of this class knowing that he has become a better reader. And that's Marburn. That's who we are. That's what we do every day, COVID or not.
Thanks again to everybody that participated in that video. I love it so much. I love it the first time I saw it, and I love watching it again. It's just a terrific representation of the success and smiles that we see every day here in Marburn. You know, when I arrived in Marburn, I was, and I still am, committed to learning as much as possible about the Marburn community. Born from this sentiment was a listening tour. It was a chance for me to engage with every Marburn constituency. In total, I met with nearly 100 participants. I met with them in small, intimate sessions, and in doing so, I created the rich conversations and the rich feel of togetherness that I was hoping for. It was great for getting lots of good, honest feedback. Through a consistent set of questions, some helpful scribes, and the time of so many, I was able to uncover themes, cultural norms, Marburn's rich history, and a lot of ambition. So I want to start today by talking a little bit about the story I heard and the story I learned about Marburn. First and foremost, Marburn was founded 39 years ago by Marge and Bob Garrick, and it was established because there was need in the community for a school to serve students who learn differently, and a school that served these students with compassion and a lot of hope. Since then, the school and all it encompasses has carried an underdog mentality with it. Persistence, being unafraid, being together. Marburn has a special attitude about it that is infectious to anybody that's here. Even though Marburn has clearly changed, the new building and the new campus is a symbol of that growth. Marburn continues to carry those initial values, that spirit, and a pride in the community into all of its work. So the next part of the story is still unwritten, but we're going to come back to that a little bit later in the presentation. I appreciated the story. I loved hearing it, but I want to unpack with you tonight some of the themes of success, some of the themes of challenge that I encountered along the way. First and foremost, Marburn is a place where we help children who learn differently grow academically, but it is also a place where we have students and families heal. We are proud, very, very proud to be an institution that helps the whole child. We care as much about their ability to read as we do about their confidence and their ability to face the world thereafter. We can do all of it well because we believe in a research-based curriculum and pedagogical approach, such as the work that we've done with Dr. Paul Riccomini. At our core, we are grounded in what we know what works for students and families, and we will never waver from this principle because it is a key differentiator for us. We could have the best systems in place. We could be the most privileged with the most resources, but none of that would matter without caring, highly qualified practitioners and support personnel, all pulling in the same direction for the same mission. This picture is one of my favorites because it's just like the faculty we find at Hogwarts. Every school has challenges, and so do we. We should never shy away from that fact because that's the only way that we're going to be improving, being honest with ourselves. Note The listening tour also proves something else when I approach these challenges. None of them are insurmountable. For example, we'll continue to balance the old and new Marburn. We have grown so quickly, inevitably, that creates anxiety, concern, and fear for some. This leads to our second challenge. All of us need to continue to work on our partnership and trust with one another. I know we've been through lots of transitions here in Marburn, and I want to do my part to build and facilitate, to unify us as best I can. I hope you support this pursuit. Finally, a point highlighted by the students I met with. They challenged me. They really challenged all of us to increase access to Marburn's expertise and culture. They also challenged us to build a hockey rink, but that's a different story. Whether this is through our outreach efforts and our professional seminars or our summer program, or simply spreading the word around town about what we do here at Marburn, we need to be better known in Columbus and Central Ohio. The students challenged us to create more access. Finally, I got some advice. I got some advice from the adults, and that was really appreciated, and I certainly could use it. But tonight, I want to share 3 pieces of advice I received, all from students. First, know us. It's so simple, and it's so telling. Marburn students want to be known for their strengths, their individual stories, and their future successes. Each day, I'm inching closer to this, but I will admit this has been tough under the present circumstances. And I want to take this moment to thank everyone for their grace and patience as I come to learn the community. Second, don't go corporate. This was a little bit hard to kind of figure out, but with a little bit of follow-up, and in short, it means don't lose your sense of humor. Don't wear a suit to work every day, and don't sell out for money and power. That was an exact quote. I'm not sure that's a true representation of corporate America anymore, but the underlying advice and sentiments was very, very solid. Last, don't mess up. This was the nicest, sweetest, most polite thread I've ever received. I get the message. What we've got here at Marburn is really special. So be careful and let's just keep it going. In sum, all of it is just not that complicated. Marburn's impact is life-changing. Marburn is comprised of exceptional people and groups, and Marburn will always honor its past and look to an even brighter future. Thanks again to everyone who participated in the listening tours. It taught me a lot. In addition to our monthly community check-ins, I plan on keeping some form of the listening tour going, and please be on the lookout for these appointments and these advertisements. Hearing from you is vital to being a good leader and doing my job well. Now I want to shift gears a bit. I'd like to review the progress Marburn has made in its current strategic plan and speak to what lies ahead for our community. Written and approved in 2017, Marburn's current strategic plan, a framework for the future, has helped Marburn become a better organization. At the time, it rallied the community and gave us room to reflect with one another. Furthermore, the strategic planning process gave us the opportunity to clarify our mission and our values. Finally, the end product was a strategic plan that created priorities, key performance indicators, and a roadmap to improve upon our future. Our mission, the guidepost for the decisions we make and the actions we take, is central to shaping who we are and who we want to continue to be now and in the future. Rightfully so, it guards the entrance to our school in the front lobby. It is a reminder of why we do this work to all the faculty and staff. It is a reminder of the hope and confidence to all the students and families. And it is a clarion to any visitor that wonders just what Marburn is all about. Our mission is sound, and so are our values. Thanks to Gabe, Ingrid, Chloe, Ahmad, and Gwyneth for reminding us that growth, communication, innovation, community, and sustainability are the center of what matters most here at Marburn Academy. A framework for the future has 4 pillars. Let's spend a minute updating you on the progress for each. First, optimize our student profile. No easy task. Marburn has made progress in this sphere. We're doing this by constantly evaluating who Marburn serves best, understanding the types and quality of learners and the citizens we graduate, and determining who we still may be able to reach down the road. Second, provide innovation and leadership to our industry. We are an institution that is on the cutting edge of educational theory, research, and practice. We are not only doing this through our words, but we are doing this through our actions too. For example, MarburnCon, our international convention, had nearly 700 registrants this year from 43 states and 7 countries. Overall, we believe we've impacted approximately 35,000 students across the globe. Since the pandemic began, we've hosted 9 programs, averaging nearly 180 registrants per webinar. Tutoring is up this year 53% over last year. All of this points to one fact. Since the strategic plan was established in 2017, we have become a respected leader in the field. Third, expand community connections and outreach. Our success is fueled by increasing our connections and becoming an even better partner to Columbus and Central Ohio. We're doing this by identifying key community partners and advocates, by communicating Marburn's mission, values, and vision effectively and strategically, and evaluating additional access points for Marburn's expertise. Fourth, create long-term organizational sustainability. Now, this begins by creating a strong financial position. And I want to go into a bit more detail on this. To start, Marburn's largely funded by tuition and fees, but 12% of our $9.1 million budget is funded by contributed income. This is a bit unusual for the independent school world. That 12% doesn't largely come from individuals. Now, I want to be clear. These are individuals we are forever grateful to for their generosity and support. It also comes from terrific foundation and corporate partners. As for our earned income, a couple of key points to highlight. Marburn is also proud to say our financial sustainability supports our students and families, awarded $1.2 million in 2019-2020, a number that we are increasing by $100,000 this year. Also, with the support of Hicks Partners and a coalition of schools like us in Ohio, the John Peterson Scholarship Fund and Autism Scholarship remains available for 95% of our families. In addition, 45% of our families receive support above and beyond ODE funds in 2019-20 through Marburn's financial aid. And by all accounts, we're going to surpass 50% this year. Now, while this is how we are going to fund the organization, many may be asking, how are we using these resources? Simple. 90% of resources are allocated to the academic program. This is a number that we can all be proud of, particularly since the vast majority of this is spent on the people that care for our students and support Marburn's robust present and future. In toto, a framework for the future is progressing very, very well and is a transformative plan to make Marburn better. As we look to the future, the key question is, how will Marburn continue to thrive? We're going to do this in 3 ways. To begin, Marburn will continue to thrive because of the people who believe strongly in its mission and values. It's the teachers working hard to reach every student. It's the staff behind the scenes connecting and strengthening our reputation internally and externally. It's every bridge and relationship we build together. It's a strong and dedicated and engaged board of trustees. It's the students who constantly remind us, whether they're here or there, that all our effort is worth it. Next, Marburn will continue to thrive because of a desire to improve in every way at every level. Maybe that's new activities and programming in the realm of engineering and STEM. Maybe that's improving our campus and caring for the bounty of our resources. Maybe it's creativity in the face of an ever-changing educational landscape. Maybe it's environmental awareness and actions that teach us to think beyond ourselves to a larger, more communal place. If we can save over 16,000 plastic bottles this year, why not even more in the years to come as a symbol of our global unity? Finally, Marburn will continue to thrive because we will plan effectively and execute with fidelity. Tonight, two key examples. First, Marburn's new DEI 3-year plan. Addressing the failures of some other schools that plan reactively, narrowly, and without accountability measures. Marburn's DEI 3-year plan is a proactive approach designed to address the entire institution's efforts with tangible, measurable success. Each pillar of the plan, DEI leadership, a diverse community, curricular programming, DEI learning pathways, and a sense of belonging. All of these will continue to grow Marburn in a way that serves our students, our families, our faculty, staff, and community in an even better way than before, with the aim of real systemic change. To learn more about this, please be on the lookout in your emails and on our website. Next, our second example of good planning. Marburn has begun the process of developing our next strategic plan. Having interviewed several strong candidates to be our next strategic planning partner, the board and I hope to have an announcement to you soon. Please be on the lookout for more details on how you can help us develop Marburn's next strategic plan starting this summer and throughout next fall. It's vital, it's absolutely vital that all of us share in Marburn's future success. Tonight, I hope you are as inspired as I am. Each and every day, I am so thankful to be part of the Marburn community. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be your head of school and can't thank you enough. In all the information reviewed tonight, please never forget, yesterday, today, tomorrow, Marburn is here for you. Some basic important dates that I want you to be aware of coming up. First and foremost, Marburn Academy's College Expo on February 25th. The free community parent webinar on March 23rd. Very, very important. Marburn Academy's 39th annual gala, Shine Online, is April 24th. Summer school will be engaging this year from July 7th to July 30th. And finally, Marburn Con 21 begins October 7th. Finally, mark your calendars for next year. I promise the next State of the School will bring you more smiles, more laughs, and more reasons to be a fan of Marburn Academy. Thanks again for sharing your time with me tonight. We miss you. Please stay tuned for a final special message from all or some of our students. In the end, go Panthers.
Thanks. Thank you.
I'll see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.